I told Raleigh he could have the first crack at the lawn mowing and that I would go sit in the shade and start working on our business plan. Raleigh didn't like that idea at all. He said this was a partnership and that everything had to be 50-50. I was pretty surprised by this because I'm the one who came up with the idea for the lawn service in the first place, so I was more like the owner than a partner. I told Raleigh we needed someone to do the grunt work and someone to handle the money so it didn't get all sweaty. Believe it or not, that was enough to make Raleigh walk right off the job. I just want to say, for the record, that if Raleigh ever needs me for a job reference in the future, I'm going to have to give him a lousy review. The truth is, I don't really need Raleigh anyway. If this lawn service business grows the way I think it will, I'm going to have about 100 Raleighs working for me. In the meantime, I needed to get Mrs. Canfield's lawn mowed. I looked through the manual for a little while longer and then figured out that I needed to pull on this handle attached to a cord, so I tried that. The mower started up right away and I was off and running. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The lawnmower was self-propelled, so all I needed to do was walk behind it and steer every once in a while. Then I started to notice that there were piles of dog poop everywhere, and steering around them was not an easy thing to do with a self-propelled mower. The VIP lawn service has a very strict policy when it comes to dog poop, which is that we won't go anywhere near it. So from that point on, whenever I saw anything that looked suspicious, I would mow a 10-foot circle around it just to be safe. The job actually went a lot faster after that because I had a lot less lawn to cover. After I was done, I went to the front door to collect my money. The final bill was $30, which was $20 for the lawn plus $10 for the time me and Raleigh spent designing that flyer. But Mrs. Canfield wouldn't pay. She said our service was lousy and that we hardly mowed any of her lawn. I told her about the dog poop issue, but she still wouldn't cough up what she owed me. And to make matters worse, she wouldn't even give me a ride home. You know, I figured someone might try to stiff us this summer, but I never thought it would be our very first customer. I had to walk home, and by the time I got to my house, I was really mad. I told Dad the whole story about my lawn mowing experience and how Mrs. Canfield wouldn't pay me. Dad drove right over to Mrs. Canfield's house, and I went with him. I thought he was going to chew her out for taking advantage of his son, and I wanted to be there to see it firsthand. But Dad just got Grandma's mower and cut the rest of Mrs. Canfield's grass. When he was done, he didn't even ask her for any money. The trip wasn't a total waste of time, though. When Dad wrapped things up, I planted a sign in Mrs. Canfield's front yard. I figured if I wasn't going to get paid, I might as well get some free advertisement for all my trouble. Another great job by VIP Lawn Service, 555-2941. Saturday. The VIP Lawn Service has not really panned out the way I thought it would. I haven't had any work since that first job, and I'm starting to think maybe Mrs. Canfield has been bad-mouthing me to her neighbors. I thought about just giving up and closing our business, but then I realized that with a few tweaks to the flyer, we could start things back up again in the winter. VIP snow removal. You've tried the rest, now go with the best. The problem is I need money now. I called up Raleigh to start brainstorming new ideas, but his mom said he was at the movies with his dad. I was a little annoyed because he never bothered to ask me if he could take the day off. Mom's not letting me do anything fun until this fruit smoothie bill is paid off, so that meant it was up to me to figure out how to earn the cash. I'll tell you who has a lot of money, and that's Manny. I mean, that kid is rich. A few weeks ago, Mom and Dad told Manny they'd give him a quarter for every time he uses the potty without being asked. So now he carries around a gallon of water with him at all times. Manny keeps all his money in a big jar on his dresser. He's got to have at least $150 in that thing. I've thought about asking Manny to lend me the money, but I can't just bring myself to do that. I'm pretty sure Manny charges interest on his loans anyway. I can get the rest of it to you tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out a way to earn money without doing any actual work, but when I told Mom that's what I was thinking, she said I'm just lazy. Okay, so maybe I am lazy, but it's not really my fault. I've been lazy ever since I was a little kid, and if someone had caught it on early, maybe I wouldn't be the way I am now. I remember in preschool when playtime was over, the teacher would tell everyone to put away their toys and we would all sing the cleanup song. While we did it, well, I sang the song with everyone else, but I didn't do any of the actual cleaning. Clean up, everybody everywhere. Clean up, everybody do your share. So if you want to find someone to blame for the way I am, I guess you'd have to start with the public education system. Sunday. Mom came into my room this morning and woke me up for church. I was glad to go because I knew I was going to have to turn to a higher power to get this fruit smoothie bill paid off. Whenever Grandma needs anything, she just prays, and she gets it right away. I think she has a direct pipeline to God or something. Dear Lord, please let me find my Dollar Savers coupon book. For some reason, I don't have that same kind of pull, but that doesn't mean I'm going to quit trying. Dear Lord, please let Mr. Jefferson get hit on the head so he forgets about the money I owe him. And please let me get past the 3rd level of Twisted Wizard without having to use any of my bonus health packs. Amen, and thank you in advance. Today's sermon was called Jesus in Disguise, and it was about how you should treat everyone you meet with kindness because you never know which person is really Jesus pretending to be someone else. I guess that's supposed to make you want to be a better person, but all it does is make me paranoid because I know I'm going to just end up guessing wrong. Wow, thanks for shining my shoes. No problem, Fred. They passed the donation basket around like they do every week, and all I could think was how I needed that money a lot more than whoever it was going to. But Mom must have seen the look in my eye because she passed the basket to the row behind us before I could take what I needed. Monday. My birthday's coming up this weekend, and it can't get here quick enough for me. This year I'm going to have a family party. I'm still really burned up with Raleigh for bailing out on our lawn care business, so I don't want him thinking he can come over and eat my birthday cake. Plus, I've learned my lesson about friend parties. When you have a friend party, all your guests think they have the right to play with your presents. And every time I have a friend party, Mom invites her friends' kids, so I end up with a bunch of people at my party I barely even know. And those kids don't buy the gifts, their moms do. So even if you get something like a video game, it's not a video game you'd actually want to play. Froggy plus Ruff learn about sharing. I'm just glad I'm not on the swim team this summer. Last year I had to practice on my birthday, and Mom dropped me off at the pool. Everybody be sure to wish Greg a happy birthday. I got so many birthday noogies that I couldn't even lift my arm to swim. So when it comes to your birthday, I've learned it's best to just keep kids out of the equation. Mom said I could have a family party as long as I promised not to do my usual with my birthday cards. That stinks because I have a great system for opening cards. I put them all in a neat pile, and then I rip each one open and shake it to get the money out. As long as I don't stop to read anything, I can get through a pile of 20 cards in under a minute. Mom says the way I do it is insulting to the people who got me the cards. She says this time around I have to read every card and acknowledge the person who gave it to me. That'll slow me down, but I guess it's still worth it. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want for my birthday this year. What I really want is a dog. I've been asking for a dog for the past 3 years, but Mom says we have to wait until Manny's completely potty trained before we get one. Well, with the potty training racket Manny's got going on, that could take forever. The thing is, I know that Dad wants a dog too. He used to have one when he was a kid. I figured all Dad needed was a little nudge, and on Christmas last year, I saw my chance. My Uncle Joe and his family stopped by our house, and they brought their dog, Killer, with them. I asked Uncle Joe if he wouldn't mind hinting to Dad that we should get us a dog, but the way Uncle Joe did it probably set my dog getting campaign back by 5 years. A boy needs a dog, Frank. The other thing I have no chance of getting for my birthday is a cell phone, and I can thank Roderick for that. Mom and Dad got Roderick a cell phone last year, and he racked up a bill for $300 in the first month. Most of that was from Roderick calling Mom and Dad from his room in the basement to ask them to turn the heat up. So the only